This is a thing I do now. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and let's get into the tea. Hey guys, so today we're filming another mini tea. I feel like I don't even have to say that anymore because it is just a given at this point. What else would I be filming? My hair is a mess. These roots. What is happening? Okay, never mind. Just before anyone asks, I know I get these comments a lot, pretty much every video, so if you're wondering, on my lips it's Kylie's cream lipstick in Dolce de Leche, and on my eyes is the Tati Westbrook Textured Neutrals palette, including the eyeliner. I just did that with the black eyeshadow. That's it, that's the look. If you're wondering what's happening on my face, that is what's happening on my face. So let's get into the tea. First, let's start with some celebrity tea. Let's grab my coffee, possibly not spill it. That'd be great. So I think it was like 2 or 3 mini teas ago. But that's my way of measuring time now. It's just how many mini teas ago I did something. I was going to talk about Kylie Jenner suing the small t-shirt company for using the Rise and Shine thing, which actually they've been using it since 2017, and obviously it was rumored that Kylie Jenner had copyright claimed it in obviously 2019. This didn't happen before 2019. So they actually had every right to use it, and apparently a source came out and said that the company owner said that they didn't have enough money to fight Kylie on this and she could easily take them down, so they are just willing to accept that they won't be able to use Rise and Shine anymore. And people talked about how, you know, she took this meme and she just capitalized off of it. She did all these things and now she's ruining people. And I was going to talk about it, and then I asked my editor to cut it out last minute because I had a weird feeling about it. I saw a few things and just wasn't sure, and I'm glad I took it out because now I'd have to make a correction instead of just continuing with the story. All of that is fake news. At no point did Kylie Jenner copyright the term Rise and Shine. I feel like that is way too broad and way too vague for people to be able to copyright that. Second of all, the small brand came out and said that that is in fact not true. She at no point contacted them. They at no point had any problems with her. She came out and said that she at no point did any of that, and that you should stop believing things that you just see without any proof. And that is something that I'm learning to deal with. I mean, like, Twitter is one of those places where you see something, it's got 100,000 likes and you're like, oh, must be true, and then you look into it and it is nowhere near the truth, and no one really knows where it started, but it just did. And there were so many tweets about Kylie being, you know, money hungry and she's taking down businesses and she's just not helping people grow, and these tweets had hundreds of thousands of likes, and it's all fake and no one knows that and no one cares. Apparently this started from this account of like 8,000 followers and they just said it for Vance, and here we are, Kylie's allegedly suing people. Well, that's not true, and I'm glad we have moved past this. Now on to the next tea. Todrick Hall. There was an article on Todrick Hall. I mentioned him briefly in one of my other mini teas, but essentially there is an article. It's an article from Insider that says allegations against entertainer Todrick Hall are piling up, from stories of non-payment to accusations of backlash for reporting sexual misconduct. Essentially, someone came to him from his crew and said that they were mistreated by someone else, and instead of punishing the person that did the mistreating, they punished the person that was mistreated, and that is a big deal at this point, and no one seems to be talking about it. I mean, it's a big deal if you think about like the grand scheme of working in an uncomfortable environment, but it's not a big deal in terms of like not many people are actually talking about it. And now there's stories of obviously him not paying salaries, and he cancelled one of his tours now because I'm guessing tickets aren't really selling too well considering everything. So yeah, I just want to see kind of where this goes, what happens, how this gets resolved. If it gets resolved, a lot of the times these things just get kind of pushed aside when the news story comes in. So every time I get an update, I will throw it into a mini tea just so we can know kind of what is happening. Now, next thing, Gabi Hannah. I forgot to, well actually I didn't get this in time for my last mini tea about Gabi Hannah, so we'll talk about her for the 3rd time in a row now. Sis really paying the bills. A girl called Jen Dent posted on Twitter that in 2014 she made a post on Facebook saying, just thinking while waiting for my next plane. It's funny to me, reflecting on how most top viners, or not even top viners but remotely popular viners, look down their noses at us regular people who have actual careers we went to school for, or even those of us who have jobs that we go to every day where we provide services and or help people. Here is the thing, that first paragraph screams salty to me. I hate when people are like, oh, I actually went to school and I have this career and now all of these YouTubers and viners are making so much money. Yes, it's always been like that. You know, there used to be actors and models and singers who didn't go to school for anything and they just happened to get a lucky role or just a lucky song and they blew up and they made load of money, more than doctors and people. That's always been the case, and I'm not sure why every like decade we just have a go at a different group of people. It was Viners and YouTubers and singers and models and footballers and actors, and it's just like, get over it. Just go to work. If you enjoy what you do, if you truly enjoy the job that you do and you are happy every day that you wake up and do that job, it shouldn't really matter how much someone else is making. Just mind your own business at the end of the day. And also, I get a lot of comments saying things like, and I know people mean it in a nice way, I guess, but it's just like, prioritize uni's what's important to you. Uni's important to a certain extent, and it's important to people who rely on uni 100% for their future career. But right now, I don't know what I'm doing, and I love YouTube and I enjoy doing YouTube. And if this happens to be the thing that I do for ages and then use that to do something else, then so be it. If I end up being a lawyer, then so be it. I don't feel like I've ever kind of just boxed myself down into one route, and I don't want to be that person. I want to be the person that has loads of different opportunities. And I get that people mean the best when they say, oh, you know, just prioritize uni over YouTube, but it's very difficult when YouTube is what it is and it's going the way it's going. It's difficult to prioritize uni over YouTube. I don't know where I'm going with this, but essentially, stay in your lane, Jen Dent, whoever that is. So the first paragraph to me just sounded a little bit... But then she goes on and says, I think Vine is great, obviously, and I enjoy it, but the massive douchebaggery that I see more and more is exhausting. You make a 6-second video and begin to imagine that you're going to write for NSL one day. First of all, the type of humour that even goes over successfully on Vine is not what is going to be successful on SNL. Second of all, please hold while I laugh my ass off at you. This whole post screams salty to me. I'm so sorry. It's another thing of like, oh, you're just a Viner. You're not going to achieve anything. Sorry, Chief. But then we have like Cody and Noel, who used to be Viners. They made YouTube videos. Now they're going on tour and selling out all the tickets for the tours. We have Drew Gooden, we have Danny Gonzalez, we have Curtis Connor. All of them used to be Viners, then they started making YouTube, and now they are selling out comedy shows all over America. I just think, yes, it's just Vine. Some people think that they are literally God sent and they have come down from the heavens above to grace us with their 6-second long vines, when in reality it's just like you had one good vine and that's it. That's all we know you from, and that's fine. But I think to downgrade the whole sector of Vine and say you're not funny enough, you just make 6-second long vines, you're not funny enough. Who are you to say that? Who are you to decide what's funny enough for SNL and what's not, realistically? What if they just want to be Viners? Why is it that every Viner is... What makes you think that every Viner is just like thinking of the next thing? What if they just want to do Vine? What if they want to be YouTubers? What if they want to be influencers? What if they don't want to go into mainstream media? Why is it that everyone assumes that if you're doing social media, at the end of it all, you're just looking to go into mainstream media? Because that is the last thing most people want at this point. Because I don't know if you realize, but new media is slowly but surely getting ahead of mainstream media. So think to the last time you watched TV, because I can't tell you. But that's just that tea on that. So is Vine great? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Has it opened doors for people? Yes. Believe it or not, even I am living some sort of weird dream because of it. The good Lord has it created some monsters, and it's not pretty. I'm just in a bad mood and tired and sick of being sick and tired. Forgive my rambling. Now that is not necessarily the problem. I didn't agree with a lot of it. I just think it all sounds a little like, oh, those pesky Viners. Like, yeah, some of them are absolutely. Some YouTubers are most YouTubers, and it's usually down to the case of getting popular too quickly, and they think they're like incredible, and that's mainly why I'm just not out there trying to make friends with YouTubers, because I feel like most of them are probably going to be quite disappointing in person. Have I met some great YouTubers? Yeah, of course. Do I think 90% of them are shit that I see on the internet? Yeah, sure. And I'm just refusing to meet them so I don't get disappointed. I feel like this sounded very shady. Everyone that I've met has been good. That I'm just saying that as a point of reference, but I do believe a lot of the huge people on YouTube are probably pieces of shit, and that's fine. I've accepted that. But so are actors, and so are models, and so are footballers, because it's an ego boosting job that makes you feel like you're better than you are, and I just don't think this is some kind of novelty. But anyway, if we had just left it at that, I would have said but Gabbie replied, of course she did. LMAO woman, you are so genuinely pathetic and sad. It's frightening how you think that everyone is looking down at you and thinks they're better than you. But who is the one knocking other people down in fruitless attempt to feel better about their lost dreams and ambitions? Not I. I went to school. I did get my degrees. I know you're proud of them because you wanted to brag about them in your statuses, but I have 3 myself, so I guess I get to brag too. I did have a full-time career, but I was given an amazing opportunity to entertain and make people happy, and I was able to pursue that, and guess what? It is a full-time career. And that is something that I can actually agree on. With this whole saltiness aside, YouTube is a career. I feel like at this point people think YouTube is a joke. I do bang on about how YouTubers think their job is more difficult than it is a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, this is a career. What I am doing right now is my full-time job. This you're watching on the screen right now, that is a career. career. I know, sounds crazy because we're just posting videos on some kind of website and it's all weird and strange and it's still kind of new, but this is a career. This is a full-time career for people, and people are making millions from this. And even if they're not making millions, they're making a good living. So let's not downplay this whole thing. Yes, it's an easy job at the end of the day, but is it still a job? Yes, it is. So that is probably the one sentence of this whole thing I can actually agree on, is this is a full-time career. We do this full-time, 7 days a week with doing this. But the whole like, oh, you're pathetic and sad and you're just salty that you didn't make it. Maybe she is, but was that your place to come into her DMs and say it? I put in a lot of hours and I'm making incredible money from it. I think that's considered a career, right? I'm sorry that your dreams turned up dry, but mine are rapidly coming true before my eyes. Funny how you asked me where all this was headed, and I said I don't know, but if I was dreaming big, I'd love to write for SNL one day. And you looked me in the face and pretended like you thought that was great. I have no doubt that if that's the path I choose, that I'll succeed. People laughed when I said I'd be alright for BuzzFeed too, but starting in February, keep an eye out. Twice my age and half the maturity. Pathetic. This is why so many people you believe love you think you're awful. So to wrap it up, Jen, you think I think I'm better than you. Damn straight. But it has nothing to do with numbers or likes or followers. It's because you're sad, pathetic, unhealthy, negative, miserable, rude, pretentious, bully. But I don't need to blast it all over social media and write Facebook statuses about it. I'll tell you directly, I'm not an internet troll. I forgot self-glorifying and narcissistic. Everyone agrees. I'm gonna go ahead and block you now because whatever half-witted, desperate attempt at response you come up with won't be worth my time. The email is also forwarded to spam. Learn to love yourself and others will love you. And she replies saying, what are you even talking about? You think a Facebook status is about you. Jesus Christ, you have issues too, it seems. Wow, Merry Christmas. Hear me out. Do I think Gabi Hanna is irritating, narcissistic, a pathological liar? Sure. Do I highly dislike her? Sure. And would it give me great joy to right now not agree with her and have a go at her and spend the next 5 minutes calling her an idiot or something? Sure. Am I gonna do that? And would that be fair? No. And would I be biased and not doing my job properly? Yes. So I'm gonna... Was that status about Gabi Hanna? It so seems. And did that woman just go back on that and backpedal because she got called out by Gabi Hanna personally? I think so. Do I agree with, what's her name? Jen? No. Even if this wasn't directly aimed at Gabi Hanna, she said Viners plural, which means you're bagging all Viners into that one spot. So if someone is a Viner and that status wasn't directly about them, they can still call you out on it because you spoke about Viners as a whole and not just one Viner that you had a bad experience with, if that makes sense. Like if someone said on Twitter like, all YouTubers are shit, and I was like, well, I'm not, so I kind of don't like to be bagged into that, but sure. It just makes sense because they bagged all YouTubers into one area. If they were just like, I met this one YouTuber and they were a piece of shit, that is no place, I'm in no position to reply to that because that's their experience. But when you say YouTubers or Viners, plural, it insinuates a lot of them, if not all of them. So Gabi kind of had every right to reply. Was she a bit passive aggressive and mean? Yeah, I think she could have, one, toned it down or just ignored it straight up. I feel like Gabi Hanna tries to make herself look like a bigger person a lot of the time and tries to look like she's mature and everything, and I think she is literally the furthest thing from that. Should she have replied to this? No. But does it look like they had some kind of a personal relationship? Yeah. I mean, it clearly from those messages looks like they knew each other before this happened. That kind of, to me, says that Gabi had every right to message her and get angry. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this because I feel like everyone is now in the mindset of, we hate Gabi Hanna again. It's like an annual thing that we all like to join in on. I just think this is another case of like people nitpicking. And this woman came out with these tweets about messages from 2014 because she now saw an opportunity to add fuel to the fire and make herself look like the good person, the Lord and Savior that's going to protect us from the Viners. Like, Viners long gone, woman. Get over it. I don't know. This whole thing just screams clout chasing to me. And I'm just not sold on these messages. Everything else, yeah. Should Gabi Hanna have gone to Jason Nash with Trisha Paytas tea? No. Do I think Gabi Hanna is a good friend? No. From what I've seen, she's not, and I'm gonna get into it. But this was also 5 years ago. If Gabi Hanna's like 25 now, she was 20. And this is a grown woman having a go at people just doing their job because they're not doing the job that she's doing and she thinks her job is somehow more meaningful than being a Viner, which, like, fair enough, but don't then expect people to not have a go at you when you disrespect their career and they've never disrespected yours. You tell me what you guys think about the situation, but try and be as objective and unbiased as possible. That is like the key here. I try to be unbiased, which is difficult because like there are a few YouTubers which I highly dislike and I would love to rip them to shreds every moment and every opportunity I can get, but I just don't think this is it, chief. But now a little bit of actual having a go at Gabi Hanna. Jesse Smiles tweeted out recently saying, if you are a person, the world will find out. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, but it's only a matter of time. And if you don't know what happened, Jesse Smiles was a victim of sexual assault. And instead of Gabi Hanna defending her, which they were actually very close friends, I remember them making videos together, she publicly defended the offender instead of defending her own friend. Because I guess she wanted to be friends with him and whoever he was friends with, and she just left her friend out to deal with it alone. I don't know the ins and outs of behind the scenes, maybe there's more behind the scenes, but from what it looked like publicly, it was such a move. And it just goes to show that Gabi Hannah is just not a good person, and as much as she wants us to think that she's a good person, she is the furthest thing from that, and that is the tea. Next, so Jaclyn Hill, we remember the video where she said she was moving to LA because her ceiling collapsed in her bedroom and she had to move to LA and live in a mansion that cost 10k a day for multiple months instead of, you know, just giving people refunds. This account on Twitter called Spill the Tea tweeted out saying, "Alright, I have the tea and the receipts. As we all know, about a month ago, Jaclyn posted about her move due to HVAC related issues, including a ceiling collapse in her home." And then she goes on to show that at no point in the last month has Jaclyn filed for any work, and the work that is required in her home needs a permit, and there is no permits for her house for the last month. And you think she tried to get it done as quickly as possible so she can go back to her home as quickly as possible. She's not doing that. So is she just not fixing her house? I don't know. Now, what else is being said is that in that video, she looks oddly familiar to the promo pictures for her new highlighter. Yes, she's releasing a new highlighter. So people are saying she actually filmed that probably as she was already doing promo pics for her new launch. So is this all just a sympathy grab? Like, is she just trying to gain sympathy so that as she releases her products, people feel bad for her and think, oh, let's give her more money because she needs to fix her ceiling, and it'll be like, oh, we feel bad for Jaclyn, she's just going through so much stress, and if anything goes wrong with this launch, it'll be, oh, I was just so stressed about my ceiling collapsing. I know this is a conspiracy theory, but I wouldn't put it past her to do all of that for a launch. Let's just wait and see what the launch is about and how it goes down and what happens with it. I'm hoping people kind of respect their money and hard-earned coin a little more this time and maybe just don't get Jaclyn Hill cosmetics. I'm sure you can get a nice highlight somewhere else. I'm pretty sure Becca still sells Champagne Pop, which is Jaclyn Hill's old highlight. So if you want a Jaclyn Hill highlight, go get Champagne Pop. I don't know if I'd trust Jaclyn Hill cosmetics, because when she was releasing the lipsticks, she says she already had like 5 or like multiple products planned, like formulas and how they're gonna look and when they're gonna be released. And now obviously the lab up and the workers in the lab didn't do what they were supposed to do, which means in the last 5 months she managed to find a new lab, get a new formula, get a new manufacturer, a whole new team, and produce them in 5 months. 5 months she managed to do all of that. Yeah, I don't trust it, and I don't think you should trust it either. That's the tea. Next piece of small tea, I feel like I need to update you guys. Google is now saying that Danielle Khan is actually 13. If you Google Danielle Khan age, it says 13 instead of 15, because no one is being fooled anymore. Everyone knows that she is 13, even Google and everyone. So anyone that dates her from this point onwards has no excuse. That is that on that. Another thing, KEEMSTAR, actually out of all people, tweeted out saying that Logan Paul's friend Spencer is actually racist because he posted a thumbnail with like a reaction to the fight, and the thumbnail was Logan Paul and a gorilla, which would insinuate that Logan Paul's fighting a gorilla and KSI is black, and people used to, you know, call black people all sorts of derogatory terms, just like when back in the day Jeffree Star called, not back in the day, literally like last year, Jeffree Star was caught calling Jackie Aina a gorilla. Like, this is just not okay. I don't know how in any way, shape or form he thought that was okay, and how anyone on that team confirmed that and approved that, but then again they all confirmed and approved the Forest thing, so wouldn't put it past them. Now, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, there was some tea about the palettes coming in broken, mainly when they were bought on Beauty Bay. A few of the shades seem to be a little bit softer and pressed a little bit less firmly. Maybe that's the problem, and Beauty Bay just didn't take enough of a precaution to make sure that they are wrapped properly to not break, so a lot of them have been coming in broken. Another thing is they claimed that the palettes were sold out, and the people went to their Morphe stores and they were still there. I'm pretty sure they were just sold out online. I'm pretty sure that's what they meant, like they were sold out online and not just everywhere. So I'm pretty sure you can still get them in some Morphe stores. Now people are coming out and saying there are some weird fibers embedded into the eyeshadows, so during pressing something must have happened, and there are a few videos of people pulling out the hairs. I want people to contact customer service and get that sorted out. Don't use them because you don't know what that is. If you have hair or any fibers or anything that isn't eyeshadow in your eyeshadow palette, stop using it until you contact customer service and they issue a refund or for a exchange. Anything could go wrong. I just want to see how Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson handle it, and if they kind of show Jaclyn Hill how things like this should be handled, or if this will be another Jaclyn Hill 2.0. So far I haven't seen as much damage as with the Jaclyn Hill release. Out of millions of palettes, only like a few have these fibers, so this must just be like a slight problem unless more start coming out. But I just want to see that this is addressed, that these people are either refunded or get an exchange, and that's that on that. Now I was just scrolling through Instagram and I come across this girl, got blonde hair and red lipstick and really weird features. I just looked at her and I thought, what the is happening? It all just looked so unnatural and so out of place. And then I realized it was Tana Mojo. It just didn't look like Tana Mojo. I was like, who is this? Why is she on my timeline? And it was Tana Mojo. This is the before Facetune and this is the after Facetune. I think, you know, Tana Mojo is very candid about the fact that she uses Facetune and she's an avid user of Facetune, and she as a whole just is very proud of her Facetune skills, but this just ain't it, chief. When you look like a whole different human being, I don't know what to tell you. And this wasn't even good Facetune because she just didn't look human at all. Like in the slightest, this did not look proportionate. Her lips covered half her mouth. Her nose was too tiny for her face. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, anything comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos every other day, except for this little mishap we had. We had a slight delay with my Wi-Fi because it is absolute trash. So instead of posting Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, we posted Wednesday, Thursday, and I will be posting on Saturday. So either way, you're getting 3 videos this week, but it just wasn't an every other day. It was 2 days in a row kind of a thing. So either way, we're on track, but that was that. So turn notifications just in case things like that happen. You will be in the loop and you will know what's up and you will know my videos hit sub boxes. So just turn notifications. That's it. Follow me on social media. It'll be in the description down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.